So hello and happy Tuesday. I spent all day thinking it was Wednesday, so I hope your day was more organized than mine. But I'm so glad that you're here. I totally expected us to be doing this in a winter wonderland after a snow day, but we didn't get very much snow. We got like icy slush, but that's okay. But I don't know about you, but gray weather makes me feel a little bit extra tired. So today we're going to focus on poses that'll give us hopefully a little bit more energy, whether that be energy to take some self-care this evening or energy to do our homework or household chores, whatever it is that you've got planned for your evening. So we'll start with our meditation and then make our way into our poses and our flows. You don't need any specific props for today, but if your knees or hands are bothering you, you might want a blanket or a towel nearby to fold up for extra support. But once you find your comfy seat, just kind of rock back and forth, finding your sit bones. And we'll open with a mudra today. We're going to focus on Garuda Mudra, which is the eagle mudra. So for that mudra, you will interlock your thumbs and splay your fingertips. It's what we used to do like butterfly when we were in elementary school. It looks like that. And you'll hold it across your chest or your heart. And we're going to do a breathing exercise with it momentarily. But first, I invite you to close your eyes and feel the mudra pressing into your heart and feel it rise as your chest rises with the inhale, filling the belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale, release the breath. Taking a moment to ground yourself in this space. A little background on Garuda. He is the eagle who serves as the vehicle for Lord Vishnu, who is the Lord of preservation in Hinduism. And Lord Vishnu works to protect humans and restore order in the world. So we often think of Lord Vishnu and Garuda as his guide when we're trying to work for social justice and restoring harmony. We're going to focus on a variety of bird-like poses today to varying degrees of balance. I have none, so we can fall together. Bringing some movement into this posture, I invite you to inhale with Garuda on your chest. Exhale, open your arms wide like you're spreading your wings. Inhale, hands to chest. Exhale, arms wide. 5 more at your pace. At the bottom of your last breath, bring the hands down by the hips and the soles of the feet to the floor. Open the chest to the sky, and then bring the hands to the outside of the knees. Press the chest forward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, arc the back, tuck the chin. 2 more. Bringing the spine back to neutral and the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out to Baddha Konasana, the butterfly. Taking a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Maybe you bring your hands back to your heart. or one on the heart and one on the belly. One more breath here. Letting the exhale escape out the mouth with a sigh. Bringing the hands to the feet or fingertips to the mat. Walk your torso out and down, coming into the extension in Baddha Konasana, the butterfly. A reminder for our practice today that your body is a way more important teacher than my words. So do what feels right to you. I'm only here to offer suggestions. Walking the torso up and bringing the hands to the knees, closing them together, soles of the feet on the mat. Hands fall down by the hips and rock yourself side to side. Taking maybe one more rock to each side and then sending the legs out long. Pulling the fleshy part of your bum out from underneath you to feel those sits bones connect with the floor. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, reach the fingertips forward like you're trying to stretch to the wall. So instead of trying to get the chest down to the thighs and bringing yourself low, bring yourself out tall like you're trying to dive out, reach out. You can play with flexing and pointing the toes. Remember to keep breathing. Next, inhale, draw the torso up. Exhale, draw the elbows down and back, open the chest. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, elbows down and back. One more. Coming into our side body stretches. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand plants down, left arm reaches over. Inhale, up. Exhale to the left. Take two more each side, nice and slow. Next, inhale, pause with the hands out wide. Bring the legs out to a V. Exhale, fold forward. Important for this one to make sure that the knees and toes don't droop in. If they start to, bring your V a little narrow. Breathing here. Walking yourself back up. Coming into our twists. We've got two options, or whatever feels good. We're going to keep the right leg out long or bend it underneath the left. So our right leg is our base. Crossing left ankle over right leg. Mine comes up over my knee. Wow, that was loud. Sorry. But yours might go down lower or come up higher, depending on how much openness you're feeling today. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, twist on over to the left. Left hand behind left hip. Right arm can come to the outside of the left leg. Maybe you take a bend at the elbow. Or alternatively, you can hug that leg in. On our inhales, drawing the spine taller. Exhales, inviting the twist a little bit deeper. Next inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, unwind, send the legs out. Take a couple breaths here and shake the legs. And then we'll switch our setup. Left leg can stay out or curl up underneath. Right ankle crosses over. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, twist over to the right. Next inhale, back to center. Exhale, send the legs out long and let your torso extend out just for a moment. Trailing the fingertips up the body. Rolling shoulders up to ears and down the back. Place the hands by the hips and droop the chin to the chest. Rock the head side to side, ear to shoulder. Next time the chin dips through center, slowly draw the head up and make your way to your table. I'm going to shimmy back to my mat. Stacking our shoulders over elbows, over wrists, hips over knees. If you'd like a little extra padding, you can always put a blanket or a towel or fold your mat underneath the hands or the knees. Taking 5 rounds of cat-cows here. Inhale, belly lower, chest lift, look out. Exhale, arc the back, look towards the belly button. Settling back into neutral, tucking the toes and lifting the hips up towards the sky. You can keep the knees bent or walk out your dog, straightening one leg and then the other. Doing a check-in with me on our first downward dog of the practice. Is each fingertip squeezing into your squishy mat? Are you extending through your shoulders and reaching hips towards the sky? Perhaps stepping in a footprint or out. Each downward dog changes during the practice. If you'd like to, on the inhales, you can raise up to the toes. Exhales, lower the heels. I'll spend about 3 more breaths here. Remembering that at any time you can take child. Next inhale, raise onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, walk the feet to the hands. Take an inhale to lift halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, release into the fold. Maybe a slight bend in the knees. Perhaps you grab opposite elbows. Release the back of the neck. And double check that you're not clenching your jaw. Maybe that's just me. For some reason, when I go upside down, I clench my jaw. Releasing fingertips down to the floor, trace them up the front of the body. Rolling the shoulders down the back. Lift the chin, look up to the ceiling. Take an inhale, raise the hands to the sky. Exhale, arc the arms over to the right. If you'd like to add a little balance, you can step left foot behind right. Inhaling back to center and exhale to the left. Inhale to center, arms up tall. Exhale, windmill the arms back. Resuming your normal pace of breath, heel toe those legs to a wide-legged stance for you. Your choice if you'd like to come down into a squat. You can lower the hips. I like to take my squat nice and wide and shift back and forth a couple of times first. We're going to take our goddess breath here. So for our goddess breath, we're going to take 6. The first round of 3, I invite you to just release any frustration that you've got going on, because life. And for the second 3, I invite you to re-energize yourself, refocus that energy into caring for yourself in this practice. That way afterwards, you can do what you need to do. So for our goddess breath, I'll cue the inhale. We'll stand up tall, reach our arms up. Exhales, come down to the wide-legged squat. arms down into 90-degree angles. And when you exhale, release with a huh. You can make it as loud as you want. I'm not going to scream because my headphones are in my ear, but I invite you to like be so loud your neighbors hear. Ready? First three, release frustration. Ready? Inhale. 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 And then for our second round of three, re-energize, reinvigorate. Inhale. 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 Straighten those legs, fold over at the hips, wide-legged forward fold. If your hands aren't coming to the floor, you can bring them to the elbows or the hip. If they comfortably reach the floor and you'd like to pull a little deeper, you can flip fingertips towards toes and walk yourself back. Walking hands back underneath the shoulders, and then bringing the hands to the hips. Slowly heel toe the feet back together as you draw the torso up. And then meet me at the front of your mat. We're going to take a flow to get back down to the ground. I'm going to lower onto my knees, chest, and then chin, and then to cobra today. But feel free to take chaturanga to up dog if you would like to. Hands shining forward, deep inhale, raise the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shin. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to the plank. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, slither through to the belly, raise the chest slightly. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. 5 breaths here. To walk out the dog, hold steady. Or on the inhale, shift to plank. Exhales, ripple back to the dog. Next, inhale, raise up onto the toes. Exhale, lower down to the knees. Coming back to our table, stacking shoulders over elbows over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, your right arm to the sky, look up. Exhale, thread right arm under left armpit and come to rest on right shoulder. Continuing to breathe here, left hand can dance out in front or wrap around for the opposite hip. Next, inhale, unwind to the sky. Exhale, settle back to the table. Inhale, left arm up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to unwind, look up. Exhale, settle into your table. Continuing to breathe here, we're going to take our eagle arms now. Your choice what you would like to do with the bottom half of your body. If you'd like to stretch out the soles of the feet, you can tuck the toes and sit back on the heels. Otherwise, you can sit back on the tops of the feet or come to easy pose, crisscross applesauce. I'm going to tuck my toes. And for eagle arms, we're going to do a little bit of a wrapping of our arms underneath one another. So bring the hands level to the shoulders and then stretch them out into a T. Bend them back to 90 degrees. And then we're going to tuck our right elbow inside of our left. So I'm lining up my arms, tucking right elbow inside of left, lifting to about shoulder height if that's comfortable. If the backs of the hands touch, great. If you can bring the palms to touch, also great. Whatever feels good. I normally end up hooking my pointer finger around my thumb. Looking up to those fingertips. Engaging the core, breathing here. If you'd like to add fluidity to the posture, you can inhale, extend up, arc the back. Exhale, crunch it in. We'll take 3 more breaths. And then bring the elbows back to shoulder height. Unwind the hands back to the T, and we'll take the other side. Bringing the left elbow inside of the right this time, and bringing the palms together. Lift elbows to shoulder height and look up to the fingertips. This is a really nice shoulder stretch after being at a computer all day. And once again, if you'd like to take your eagle breaths, you can inhale, extend up. Exhale, hug it in. Bringing the elbows back to the shoulders. Unwind the hands. Come onto the tops of the feet and spread the knees about as wide as the mat. Walk the torso forward, coming into child's pose, Balasana. The top of the head rests on the mat. If you'd like to, you can tuck a blanket in between the hips and the heels or underneath the knees. And if you'd like to further counter those shoulder stretches, you can wrap the arms back along the legs. And maybe you roll the head side to side from temple to temple. Just breathe. Slowly walking the torso up. Bringing the feet behind the knees in slightly. Walk the hands out and lower down onto the belly, preparing for some cobra breath. Tops of the feet on the wide, as wide as the mat. Hands splayed underneath the shoulders. Looking out a couple of inches in front of you, tuck those elbows in. Take an inhale, raise the chest slightly. Exhale, lower down. We'll take 4 or 5 more breaths here. I like to focus on the engagement of the core, which helps me feel an extension in the spine without pressing myself too far. You're welcome to come up as high as feels comfortable for you in Cobra. Just avoid a crunching in the lower spine. Lower down slightly if you find it uncomfortable. When you finish your last breath, leave the head on the mat and spread the arms out to a T. We're going to take our funky upside down twist. So bending the right leg, you're going to tip the right toes over towards the left side of the body. They may reach the floor, they may not. You can flip so that your left cheek is on your mat. Focusing today on bringing twists into the spine and a little bit of openness to the hip. Nice and slowly roll back over to the stomach and send the right leg out. Bend the left and tip on over. Coming back onto the stomach. And then we're actually going to roll over onto our back. Hug the knees into the chest, feeling the lower back connect with the mat and the floor. Send the right leg out long and tip left knee over to the right side of the body. You can extend the left arm and look out over those fingertips, trying to keep both shoulders on the mat. Tipping back to lie flat. Sending the left leg out long and hugging the right leg in. Tipping right knee over to the left side. Look out over the right hand. Coming back onto the back, hugging both knees back in, and taking a couple of rocks up to a seat. We're going to take one more round of twists before we make our way into some balance poses. So these will be our seated stag twists. We're going to drop both knees over to the left side. And I've got my left knee in the sole of my right foot. If that's not comfy, it's whatever extension of both legs feels good to you. Sitting up nice and tall and bringing our arms back to goddess. Take a big inhale, look out. Exhale, twist over to the left. And I'm going to swivel so you can see my top half. And I'm going to lower my hands down. Maybe you just come onto fingertip. Maybe you lower onto forearms. Maybe you walk yourself a little further. Whatever feels good to you, looking for a nice twist in the spine. Breathing here. Coming back up onto the hands and walking yourself through center, taking a small counter twist over to the right before facing forward and dragging the knees up through center and over to the right this time. Arms come back to goddess. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist over to the right and lower down. Pressing up onto the hands. Nice and slow, walk yourself back through center and take a little counter twist to the left before coming back to the seat with your knees up. And we're actually going to make our way to standing. So since we're doing some balance postures, let's review our duck feet. So spreading the feet underneath the hips, we're going to try and have webbed feet like a duck, which unfortunately we don't have. Lift all of your toes off the floor, spread them out nice and wide, and then try and set them down one at a time, or that's not really possible, but as slow as you can from big toe to pinky toe. So your feet look way wider than they normally do. So for eagle pose, the top half of your body twists in the opposite way of the bottom half. So we'll start with our right arm on top, which means our left leg is on top. I'm going to show you how to do it standing first, but then there's also an option laying down on the floor. Your choice which one you like. So for standing, bring your arms out to a T, and then coming back to those eagle arms, bringing right elbow inside of left, and wrapping the upper arms together. Maybe the backs of the hands touch, maybe the palms. Lift the elbows. Sitting back into your chair. And since we've got our right arm on top, we'll put our left leg on top. So crossing my left leg over my right. And some people can tuck their toes back behind their calf. That doesn't happen for me. I just sit here like this. And you look up to the hand. If you'd like to take this lying down, you'll take the same arms, right arm inside left, lay your torso down, bend the knees, and bring left leg on top of right. Lift the knees up. So it looks the same, like if someone took a side profile, but you're on the floor. And you can still look up to the fingertips. This can also be done seated in a chair. If you fall down, maybe come back into it. Maybe don't. We'll play around with it for about 4 more breaths, which means I'll fall about 4 more times. Slowly unwinding, first the legs and then the arms. Bring the arms out to a T and flip the palms to face the back of the room. Press the hands back behind you, open the chest, lift the chin. Take a couple of breaths here. Bring the arms back to a T, maybe take a couple of arm swings, forward to back and side to side. And then we'll take our other side. Crossing left elbow inside of right this time. Back to hands touch, or you bring the palms together. Lift elbows up to the shoulders. And then whether seated, standing, or lying down, bring the right leg over the left. If looking out to your own hands makes you lose your balance, you can pick a stable point on the wall and focus there. One more breath. And then start to unwind the legs and the arms. You can come down to your knees or stay standing. We're going to do some shoulder stretches here. Taking 5 big arm circles backwards. And then 5 forwards. Let the hands sway down by the sides until you find stillness. Then inhale, drag shoulders to ears. Exhale, roll them down the back. Take a couple more. And then go forwards. Coming back down to the knees and back into our child's pose, bringing big toes together, sitting hips back to heels. Walk the torso out and down. Bring the hands up to tented fingertips on an inhale. Walk them just a little bit further out. Exhale, lower down. Feel the extension. Walk the hands over to the right. And then over to the left. Hands come back through to center. Rippling up to table. Lowering yourself down onto the stomach. And then flipping over onto your back. You can keep your right knee bent or send it out long. Bring that left leg up to the sky. Point and flex the toes and take a couple of ankle circles. If your hands comfortably reach, you can intertwine them behind the thigh or the shin. Otherwise, you can grab onto the front of your pants and use that as leverage. Take an inhale, flex the foot. Exhale, pull the leg a little closer to you. You can always bring a slight bend to the knee. Bending at the knee and pressing that thigh open to the left. Placing right hand on right hip to balance. And then press left knee back over to the right side one more time. Look out to the left. Coming back through to center, bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. Cross left ankle above right knee. Hug that right thigh in, coming into reclining pigeon or reclining figure four. Pulling the right thigh closer to you so that you feel a nice deep stretch and opening in the left hip flexor. Unwind to bring both feet up to the sky. Send the left leg down and keep the right leg up. Point and flex the toes and take a couple of ankle circles. And then when you're ready, hug that leg in, using the front of your pants so the hands intertwined behind the leg. Just be sure not to pull on the knee. Bending at the knee and opening the right leg to the right side. Balancing with left hand on left hip. And then coming into the last twist. Pressing right knee over to the left side of the body. Look out to the right. Slowly tipping back flat and taking any last stretches your body needs before we take our Shavasana. I invite you to join me in Happy Baby with knees pulled down towards the armpit and hands either grabbing the pinky edge of the feet or peace sign fingers gripping the big toes, slowly rocking side to side. When you're ready, you can send your body out into your Shavasana, preparing the mind by bringing your intention back to your heart and the forefront of your thought, pressing the shoulders and hips and heels down into the mat. Maybe the palms lay open, or maybe you take our mudra, our Garuda Mudra from the beginning of practice, interlocking the thumbs and bringing the hands to the heart. Allowing the breath to wash over you like a wave. Inhales crawling in through the nose. Exhale silently escaping out through the mouth. Just breathe. Just be. Bringing the attention back to the breath and small movements into the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, rolling to your right side for a few more breaths in this space, your space. pressing up into a comfortable seat, eyes closed or softly gazing at the floor in front of you. Palms can be on the lap or come to the heart in the Garuda Mudra or press together at heart center. Filling yourself with gratitude for your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. It has been an absolute pleasure. By the mercy of my teachers, the light within me honors the light within all of you. May you go forth and have an absolutely beautiful evening. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Thank you all so much for being